Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 456 based on novel. So let's start. This matter, no problem. These simple words revealed self-confidence, but this confident person didn't even know that as he was talking, Wang Lin had already arrived. If he knew, perhaps he wouldn't have been able to utter those four simple words. Wang Lin stood hundreds of thousands of feet away from planet Dongling. He stared at the planet that was several times larger than planet Qianyun. The killing intent in his eyes became even stronger. He was filled with hope of resurrecting Li Muwen when he came from the Alliance. He had fought his way through all heaven and finally won the title of Thunder Celestial and a promise from the Xiong family. Back then, Wang Lin didn't want to make an enemy out of the giant Xiong family. He only wanted Li Muwen to awaken. He had arrived on planet Dongling for the first time with Xiong Yundong filled with hope to meet the ancestor. However, the ancestor was despicable and insidious. Not only did he not allow Li Muwen to awaken, but he took all of Wang Lin's vitality. If it wasn't for the finger of death, Wang Lin would already be long dead. As Wang Lin's cultivation level increased and he learned of the difficulties of reviving Li Muwen, Wang Lin gradually found out that everything the Xiong family ancestor had said was a lie. He didn't have the ability to revive Li Muwen. If not for the coffin that Wang Lin had found, even the hope of Li Muwen reviving would have been destroyed. The vitality the ancestor had injected was the reason why Li Muwen's soul had become even more damaged. The ancestor was trying to destroy Li Muwen while stealing his vitality. Wang Lin's idea of injecting vitality into Li Muwen was correct if done with the right method. Then Li Muwen's awakening might not be so difficult or impossible like it was now. However, the Xiong family's sinister method had destroyed this. Back then, Wang Lin's cultivation was lacking, so he didn't understand it completely. Looking back now, after 1,000 years, he could clearly see through it all, and his hatred was monstrous. The ancestor knew about this from the start. Wang Lin wanted to know the cause of all of this. Why had the Xiong family ancestor deceived him to steal all his vitality in the name of resurrecting Li Muwen? There had to be a reason. The Wang Lin back then had left in a sorry state. He wasn't qualified to ask or resist, he could only endure. He continued to endure the humiliation, and the hatred was buried deep inside his heart. Just like how he had endured his hatred of the Teng family for hundreds of years. However, today Wang Lin was looking at planet Dongling for the second time, and he was now qualified to know everything. The killing intent in his eyes became even stronger and he took a step forward. A thunderous roar echoed and he crossed hundreds of thousands of feet with one step. As the roar rumbled, Wang Lin appeared 10,000 feet away from planet Dongling. The star domain trembled and ripples spread with Wang Lin as the center. It was as if a wave was set off in the ocean, and it continued to spread. It was as if his step had landed on the pulse of space itself. The thunderous roar shook planet Dongling. The expressions of the thousands of cultivators on the smaller planets around planet Dongling changed. They felt a powerful impact coming from above, and it smashed into planet Dongling. Formation light flickered violently. The light shined brightly like the sun. At this moment, all the cultivators on the smaller planets felt the sound of their hearts breaking. A force seemed to enter their bodies and their origin energy cycled rapidly. It was as if their hearts would shatter from the vibrations coming from space if they didn't do this. Standing outside planet Dongling, Wang Lin's eyes were like lightning. After he appeared, he opened his mouth and calmly said one sentence. "You know who I am, get the hell out here right now." The moment Wang Lin said this, a monstrous echo was set off. "Get the hell out here right now. Get the hell out here right now. Get the hell out here right now." This one sentence revealed Wang Lin's anger that had been suppressed for 1,000 years and erupted Wang Lin's hatred for the Xiong family. This one sentence contained the desperation he felt when he came here filled with expectation but was cheated in the end. "You can take my life in battle or hunt me like the Yao family." However, they had plotted against him when his hope was at its peak. They had cut off Li Muwen's chance of recovery. Not only had they plotted against him, but they had also plotted against a weak woman that was already dead. This was not something Wang Lin could accept. He couldn't accept it. The echoes spread like crazy across the stars. It was like thunder, and it suppressed the rumble from Wang Lin's step earlier. Thunder filled the star domain along with this sentence. In the blink of an eye, the space around planet Dongling became a thunder hell. This sentence set off a sound wave that could cause the world itself to collapse. It was like the roar of an ancient god. What did the storm Wang Lin had formed with that step count as? At this moment, countless storms started raging. These storms represented Wang Lin's monstrous indignation, wrath, and hatred that had been brewing for over 1,000 years. Formation light flashed violently on the dozens of smaller planets around planet Dongling. However, 9 of those planets suddenly collapsed. Thunderous rumbles echoed and spread across all the star domains in the eastern part of all heaven. When the 9 planets collapsed, all the cultivators stationed on them were killed. Even the 27 old men who were controlling these 9 planets couldn't resist at all. They were terrified and shocked before they were killed. They didn't even have the strength to escape from Wang Lin's roar. The thousands of cultivators on the dozens of remaining small planets around planet Dongling all coughed out blood. It seemed some power had still penetrated the formation that was resisting the roar. Their hearts were shaken and fear began to arise. As the roar echoed, planet Dongling echoed and countless cracks appeared on the planet's surface. Countless mountains collapsed and rivers surged. There was a sea in the northern part of the planet. Waves surged on this sea, forming a huge vortex. The voice turned into a blast that rushed into the ocean, forming a 10,000-foot tsunami that attempted to submerge the land. The wave charged at the land in an attempt to swallow it up. In the extreme eastern land of planet Dongling, just as the 2 old men in black relaxed, they were shocked by this roar. Their bodies trembled as if they were facing a powerful shockwave and were knocked back 2,000 feet. They coughed out blood and one of their bodies exploded, his blood covering the dark red earth. Wang Lin's roar echoed into the huge, hollowed-out area underground. The earth trembled and a giant gully appeared as if 2 large hands had ripped it open. A majority of the heads inside exploded, and even the death aura that had been gathering inside for tens of thousands of years was pushed back. It was as if the aura was afraid it would be too slow. The earth-yellow coffin trembled. Then its lid was smashed into pieces against the wall. A roar struggled to come out from the coffin without a lid. A dried-up right hand came out from the coffin and grabbed the edge. On the surface, the old man in black that had coughed out blood was filled with indescribable fear. He didn't hesitate to quickly form seals with his right hand, and a black jade rapidly appeared. Set formation. Stop this person from entering planet Dongling at all cost. Powerful auras rushed out from planet Dongling from the south, east, and north. A large amount of cultivators gathered, at least 10,000 of them. The northern area was home to the Liu family. Tens of thousands of cultivators sat on the ground, forming a giant formation. There were also dozens of old men sitting in the air. They quickly formed seals and were even spitting out blood. The blood quickly gathered and a huge blood shadow appeared. The southern area was home to the Shu family. There were also tens of thousands cultivators surrounding a huge pool of blood at the center. Monstrous killing intent was oozing out of the blood pool, and these cultivators walked into the blood pool. The eastern area was home to the Liu family. They formed groups of 7 and occupied thousands of kilometers of space. Each group had a treasure that gave off a yellow glow. If one looked down from above, they would see that the entire Liu family formed a giant sunflower. At the same time, the formation light around the remaining smaller planets around planet Dongling flashed. They began to rotate rapidly around planet Dongling, forming a vortex with planet Dongling at the center. Wang Lin coldly looked at everything before him. His eyes lit up and he stepped forward. Since you won't come out, then I'll drag you out. Anyone who dares to block me will be die with you. Just as Wang Lin stepped forward, orders came out within the Liu family on planet Dongling. Formation, become the sky. Restrict the devil celestial. Suppress all directions. When the orders were given, the thousands of cultivators on the smaller planets all formed seals. A light curtain appeared and wrapped around Plant Dawn Ling. In a flash, the light curtain increased to 1,000 layers, 10,000 layers, 100,000 layers, 1 million layers, 10 million layers. Until it was 99 million layers. The light from the light curtain pierced through space and spread in all directions. It filled the eastern part of all heaven. Even the other three domains could see a powerful light in the east. All heaven was shocked by this. The groups of cultivators pulling planets, all the cultivation planets, and the army of cultivators moving all saw this light coming from the east. In an area far from planet Dongling, at the place where the main preparations of all heaven were taking place, more than 600 planets had gathered to form the formation. Deep within the vortex, Master Lu Fu looked into the distance. Beside him, Master Flames Park, Blood God, and Li Yunzi were pale. They felt the endless light coming from planet Dongling. Planet Dongling came from ancient times. There are rumors saying that the Lu family has raised a formation spirit for tens of thousands of years. Once it is activated and the spirits enter, its power would be shocking. I wonder if Wang Lin can break it open. I don't know how his cultivation has reached such a terrifying level. However, it will take some time to break open planet Dongling's formation. How long would it take for me to break this formation? Master Lu Fu looked into the distance, and an answer already appeared in his heart. 20 breaths is enough. I want to see how long it will take this Wang Lin to break it. More than 90 million layers of light formed Thesa formation that even Master Lu Fu would need 20 breaths to open. This formation had reached the limit of second-step cultivators. Even a fifth heaven's blight cultivator would find it impossible to break this formation alone. Wang Lin's eyes were calm and coldly watched the light curtain reach a terrifying degree of power. He revealed a sneer. This is a bit more interesting. However, this level isn't enough. Wang Lin raised his right hand and pointed at the sky. The 7 ancient god stars between his eyebrows rotated. A powerful ancient god energy, or to be more accurate, ancient order energy, erupted from Wang Lin's body. The moment this aura appeared, it caused space itself to distort, and countless spatial rifts appeared. It was as if space itself couldn't withstand the ancient order aura. Ancient order was an existence stronger than ancient gods. Because ancient gods branched off from the ancient order. As this aura spread out, a giant phantom appeared behind Wang Lin. This phantom was blurry, and it was just a head. A head without a left eye? This head was large and covered the entire sky. A powerful pressure spread out across the entire eastern domain of all heaven. The moment this aura appeared, all the cultivators who felt it were shocked. It was as if they were sensing something outside of their comprehension. When Master Lu Fu saw this giant head, his pupils shrank and disbelief filled his eyes. This? What is this? Ancient god? Ancient demon? Ancient devil? Not many people knew of the existence of the ancient order. This was the first time Master Lu Fu had seen it. Wang Lin's expression remained calm as he raised his right hand and slowly formed a fist. As he lowered his hand, he gently threw a punch at the light curtain. God tremble. Space trembled. As Wang Lin threw that punch, an illusory fist appeared and flew forward. This fist was hundreds of thousands of feet large. In a flash, the giant fist touched the 99 million layers of light. The light curtain rumbled and flashed brightly when the punch landed. The thunderous rumbles echoed across the entire star domain. With no resistance at all, the layers of light curtain collapsed. More than 30 million layers, 60 million layers, 80 million layers, 90 million layers. It was as if the fist had hit the surface of the water and slammed into it. The formation collapsed and disintegrated rapidly. The layers of light curtain continued to collapse, unable to stop the fist at all. In just one breath, the fist penetrated all 99 million layers. The formation was torn apart, revealing the vortex formed by the dozens of rotating planets. The vortex was hit by the fragments of the formation, causing thunderous rumbles to echo. Large cracks appeared on these planets, making it look as if they could collapse at any moment. However, this didn't end here. Wang Lin's god tremble was a powerful blow created with his new 7-star ancient god power that he had obtained from the ancient order inheritance. The light curtain formation was like a piece of paper that was blown apart by one punch. It couldn't even offset 10% of the punch's power. Just the physical strength of a 7-star ancient god could match third-step cultivators, so how could the tiny planet Dongling resist? As the thunderous rumbles echoed, the illusory fist collided with the vortex around planet Dongling. It exploded. The dozens of cultivation planets that formed the vortex trembled. On more than 10 planets, large gullies appeared on their surfaces and they showed signs of breaking. A moment later, they were all torn apart. Many cultivators were torn apart as the planets collapsed. All those powerful elders that had been maintaining the formation were unable to escape. They were erased from existence along with the planet. Wang Lin's punch charged into the vortex and shot toward planet Dongling. As his fist moved forward, the remaining dozen planets smashed toward his punch, but they all collapsed one by one. Seeing that Wang Lin's fist was about to land on planet Dongling, a mournful scream came from the Lu family on the northern part of the planet. The nearly 10,000 cultivators all coughed out blood on the dozen or so old men in the center. The old men's bodies immediately began to swell. A moment later, the bodies of these elders looked like balls of blood. Their clothes were ripped open and large amounts of blood vessels could be seen under their skin. Blood sacrifice. Formation spirit, condense. As these words echoed, the dozen old men exploded into large amounts of blood mist that gathered in the middle. A roar came from the blood mist and then a blood shadow shot out into the sky. The blood shadow was blurry, making it impossible to see its appearance. However, there was a powerful restriction aura coming from its body. At this moment, the northern part of planet Dongling was dark. All light was replaced by the giant fist. Wang Lin's punch had descended upon planet Dongling. The blood shadow charged at the fist. It let out a heaven-shaking roar and collided with Wang Lin's ancient order punch. A violent rumble echoed across planet Dongling. It spread out in all directions, passing by Wang Lin and making its way across the eastern domain. However, before this rumble dissipated, the blood shadow exploded into a rain of blood that descended from the sky. Before the blood rain hit the ground, Wang Lin's ancient order punch flew past it and landed on the northern part of planet Dongling. The entire planet trembled and the earth in the north collapsed layer by layer. The nearly 10,000 cultivators all died. A giant sinkhole hundreds of thousands of feet wide appeared. The hole reached down to 60% of planet Dongling's circumference. The sinkhole was completely black and gave off the smell of blood. Planet Dongling trembled. Although it didn't explode, even more powerful tsunamis were triggered. The ocean flew into the air, half falling into the sinkhole, while the other half fell like rain over planet Dongling. Soon, the bottom of the sinkhole formed by Wang Lin's punch became an ocean, and it was slowly being filled up. From above, the fist print was very obvious. It looked exactly like a mortal punching into mud. 8 breaths. From when Wang Lin threw the punch, it had only taken 8 breaths for the light curtain to collapse, all the smaller planets to crumble, the Lu family to get wiped out, and for the giant sinkhole to appear. Master Lu Fu suddenly stood up inside the vortex, shock filling his eyes. He found that he had made a huge mistake when analyzing Wang Lin. He hasn't even reached the 3rd step, yet the power of his punch is already terrifying. 8 breaths. 8 breaths, Master Lu Fu sucked in a breath of cold air. The thought he had when he saw the rain sword was gone. Wang Lin's status in his mind raised greatly. He had already reached the level of his peers. The entire planet was covered in rain of sea water. The rain fell on the earth, slowly spreading and forming rivers. The power of one punch had shattered all the mountains on planet Dongling. The cracks that had appeared had become paths for seawater to form rivers. The sinkhole and the collapse of the northern land made the rain seem like it was the tears of planet Dongling. The ancient order god tremble not only caused the earth to tremble but also the people's hearts. The Shu family in the south were all shocked. Panic and despair appeared in their eyes. Even the Shu family's head and various elders were all shocked. What kind of power is this? The ancient formation couldn't stop it at all. All the cultivation planets collapsed, and even planet Dongling, which has existed since ancient times, trembled. This punch had exceeded their imaginations. It was something that shouldn't exist. It was already in the realm of third-step cultivators. The Liu family in the eastern part of the planet had also witnessed the punch fall from the sky, the planet trembling, and the Liu family being wiped out. All of them became silent. Can planet Dongling withstand another punch like this? In the western part of planet Dongling, the people of the Xiong family surrounded the area their ancestor was in. They stared at the sky as the rain fell on their bodies. Their hearts were shocked from fear. Xiong Yundong was filled with bitterness as he stared dumbfoundedly at all of this, unable to speak a word. The scene just now was too shocking, it was beyond anyone's imagination. Facing this kind of power, how could they fight it, how can they resist it? The Liu family's family head, elders, and nearly 10,000 cultivators all looked to the west. The Shu family in the south was the same, their gazes were all gathered on the west. Even in the west, the Xiong family members were the same. It was unknown who had looked toward where the ancestor was in closed-door cultivation first, but soon the entire Xiong family was looking over. They were waiting for the ancestor's word. To battle or to retreat. Before they could hear the words from the ancestor, they saw a snow-white figure in the rain. Planet Dongling had lost all of its defenses before Wang Lin. He had appeared in the sky and his gaze was like lightning as he looked to the west. Still not coming out of the coffin yet? Wang Lin's voice was calm and contained no thunder, but it clearly entered the ears of every cultivator here. It created an invisible pressure on all the cultivators. Battle until death. A hoarse roar came from the west where the Xiong family ancestor was in closed-door cultivation. This roar was filled with endless terror and madness. After he spoke, all the eyes of the Xiong family members became bloodshot and they charged at Wang Lin. They looked crazy, as if their consciousness had been erased and replaced with endless killing intent. There was also the Shu family in the south. The nearly 10,000 cultivators all went crazy. They lost their senses and flew into the air. As for the Liu family in the east, all the cultivators used those large treasures. Monstrous lights shot into the sky like silver snakes, all of them directed at Wang Lin. The Liu family members all sat down after using the treasures. They began forming seals, and the sounds of spells being chanted echoed. Blood puppet spell. The chanting of nearly 10,000 cultivators fused into one voice that shot into the sky. Then a strange, flowery fragrance came from their bodies. When the flower fragrance appeared, a giant, yellow sunflower appeared on the ground. The edges were golden but the center was black. Numerous seed-like grains could be seen. However, Wang Lin could clearly see that these grains were the heads of these 10 of thousands of cultivators. Just at this moment, a line of blood appeared on their necks as their chanting became more violent. Soon, there was a flash of red and their heads disconnected from their bodies. Large amounts of blood poured out and fused with the spell to form a powerful force. The giant sunflower released a golden light mixed with blood-red light. It flew off the ground and charged at Wang Lin. From afar, it looked like a giant pillar of light was shooting toward Wang Lin. A destructive force quickly spread out from inside the pillar of light. Then a headless shadow vaguely appeared inside the light. This shadow wore armor and held a lance as it charged inside the pillar of light. This power surpassed the limit of fifth heaven's blight cultivators through some unknown method and was infinitely close to Joss flame spells of third-step cultivators. It could even be said that the aura from this pillar of light was infinitely close to the aura of an early-stage nirvana void third-step cultivator. All of this was because of the headless shadow inside the light. Wang Lin suddenly turned around and his lightning-like gaze swept by. He saw the headless shadow. The pillar of light was too fast, and now it was less than 30 feet from Wang Lin. It was as if it was giving Wang Lin no chance to dodge. But Wang Lin had no intention of dodging. His eyes lit up and he raised his right hand. As the pillar of light closed in, his hand pressed forward. Thunderous rumbles echoed across planet Dongling and spread out in all directions as a roar. The pillar of light collided with Wang Lin's right palm. The headless figure inside the light thrusted the lance at Wang Lin's palm. Thunderous rumbles echoed. Wang Lin's white hair was swept by as if hit by a powerful wind. His clothes flapped violently as if they were going to be torn off his body. However, Wang Lin's body didn't move at all. Not even his expression changed at all. He withstood an attack that was close to the attack of a Nirvana Void cultivator with just one palm. Under the thunderous rumbles, the world seemed to be torn apart. A large gully appeared on the earth below Wang Lin. The gully extended deep into the planet, and at this instant, the eastern part of planet Dong Lin separated from the planet. If one looked from afar, they would clearly see part of planet Dong Lin crack and separate from the planet. The huge fragment of the planet filled with the dead cultivators that had used the blood puppet spell flew off into the vast space. Planet Dongling became crippled and began to collapse on a large scale. The pillar of light disappeared and the headless figure dissipated with it. Wang Lin didn't retreat a single step until the pillar of light disappeared, then he slowly withdrew his right hand. There is such a spell. To destroy it is a bit of a pity. The moment the pillar of light dissipated and planet Dong Lin began to collapse, the remaining cultivators all went crazy because the Xiong family ancestor had shouted to fight to the death. They all charged at Wang Lin. Their eyes were red as if they wouldn't give up until they killed Wang Lin. I, Wang Lin, have killed a lot of people. I don't mind killing people. I don't know why you're sending them to death, but I can fulfill your wish. Wang Lin was calm as he watched the tens of thousands of cultivators charging at him. He raised his right hand and gently waved. The moment he waved, 9-colored fire appeared in Wang Lin's left eye. As his right hand waved, the fire spread across the world. Ethereal fire cultivators excelled in group battles. With this wave, ethereal fire began to burn inside these cultivators' bodies. Miserable screams echoed as they were all burned to ashes. There was no exception. In a flash, Wang Lin was like a burning candle, and these crazed cultivators were like moths that continued to die to the fire. As the sea of fire spread, the entire sky became covered with white gas. Wang Lin slowly walked toward the western part of the planet, where the Xiong family ancestor had stolen his vitality. As Wang Lin marched forward, miserable screams continued to echo. All the cultivators that got close to him burned to ashes. No one could stop Wang Lin's advance. Soon, Wang Lin arrived in the western part of the planet, where the earth was dark red. Before him was the deep gully that led to the cave the Xiong family ancestor was in. Wang Lin took a step forward and entered the gully. Just as he entered, a roar came from the earth-yellow coffin. Large amounts of viscous, yellow liquid flew out and formed a wave that shot toward Wang Lin. The smell of rotting flesh and the death aura combined with this liquid and formed a storm that shot toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin remained calm, and the moment the storm closed in, he waved his hand. The storm collapsed, and the yellow liquid emitted sizzling sounds when it fell on the surrounding rocks. At the same time, the dried-up right hand that held the edge of the coffin gripped hard. A gasping, hoarse voice came out from the coffin. The ancient imperial order states that those that destroy planet Dongling will have 9 generations of their family killed. As the sound of his voice echoed, the Xiong family ancestor struggled to stand up with his terrifying body. This video will end here.